This video, I'm going to show you how you can develop the progressive web apps. The progressive web apps, also known as PWA apps, like PWA apps. The progressive web apps are a modern technology which is a replacement to your mobile apps. So, if you look at the traditional software development, we develop a web app and then we develop web app using HTML and maybe the backend database, everything. And then we develop a native mobile apps using the Kotlin or Java for Android devices, Swift. The modern days, Objective-C is not used for iOS. The Swift is the latest programming for the iOS apps, which means if you wish to develop an app for any product, you need to develop one for a website and one for Android devices and one for iOS. So it really involves a large amount of development work. It involves heavy cost in terms of developing all this. Sometimes you may have a different opinion. Why should I develop the native apps? There is hybrid apps. Of course, yes, but still the hybrid apps requires you to develop web app separately, the hybrid app separately. The hybrid app, you can use a Cordova or something like that or Ionic that you can generate, and it will give the single code development for both iOS and Android devices. Uh, Again, still it is a two, right? The web app and the mobile separately. But the progressive apps is really, um, you know, one development that will take your, whatever the website or product, you can build just one progressive web app. It will serve for both the website as well as the mobile app. So this video is highly, we are going to show you how to build a simple app that can be, um, deployed as a mobile app to both Android and iOS devices. I'm going to use React.js. That's a very hype in the software, right? So React is really super cool in terms of developing the you know web or mobile apps today. And so React.js is going to be used in this video. And building mobile app, you can't believe it. Just I guarantee you, maybe 2 to 3 lines of additional code will completely make your web app into the mobile app. And I'll show you how this can be simply published, and users can download and install the app on the mobile phones. Let's go and create the app now. Go and see how to create a new um, React.js app. All right. Um, I would use that React create new app. Okay. So there is a very, good to, it's really superb command. If you already installed a node and npm in your computer, you can simply go and run this tool and it will create for you. In my case, I go to software tutorial, and here I'm going to create the app. Here, PWA, maybe movies. My app is going to be a mobile app, and it is going to show you some of the latest trending movies. Okay, just hit run, and this command is really creating a simple prototyping React.js app. It will create all the necessary artifact and everything. Okay, just go ahead and look at this. Here you see that this particular folder is created or being created by the particular command that I'm running now. Okay, it will take a couple of minutes in order to generate the basic React app. It depends on sometime how your internet speed, how your computer speed is. Let's give the minute in order to download and install the necessary artifact in order to kickstart the app. and then go ahead and open the Visual Code Studio. I use the Visual Code Studio in order to develop applications because it is really um, super fast, lightning fast in order to develop. And I'm just going and opening this folder into the Visual Code Studio. So this is a folder right now created by the particular, the npm command that I run for now. Okay, so this is a command. When I hit, it created the React.js app. In order to run this app, you can simply go ahead and run something like npm start, and sorry, we have to get into the PWA movies folder. Inside of the folder, let's run npm start. Okay, as you hit, it will go and open the basic app. Now the basic app is running by this particular command. Okay, just go ahead and see what has been created. So this is the folder structure created by the command. So it got readme and package and src public folder. I mean, these are all the basic set of files that that the React will automatically create on the fly. Okay, so if you go and open the app.js, you will be seeing this particular code. So this is what the basic, the beginning of the page that you are seeing here. Okay, this one. If you go and look at it, you have the particular text here, right? So let's go and remove here. All right, and because we are going to use our uh, our our own content. Okay, so in order to begin with, I mean, if you are not familiar with how to create the React app and all, please go ahead and watch the other video in my channel. I have explained how to create the React app step by step. So I'm going to talk about the ant design because this is one of the very promising UI component for your React.js apps. I mean, you can build any user interface, a very creative user interfaces using this ant design. I'm going to install this with the help of um, the getting started, and they would have mentioned how to install this, right? Installation and initialization. So they mentioned how to install the ant design, right? So in order to install, just go and I mean, this is a command, all right? So I hope you are familiar with installing npm commands. Okay, go ahead and npm install ant-d. Okay, so it will go and install the additional dependencies to the app. Okay, so after built this, I am going to look at, I mean, the benefit of this is that we don't need to go and write a lines of code in order to build this particular frameworks will give you plenty of components that you can quickly go and use it. Okay, I'm going to use the layout. The layout is like any web page, any mobile app. If you see, you have some kind of header, footer, some kind of icon, breadcrumb or something like that, right? So this is something you can use. um, so I think you might be seeing something like this on the mobile app, right? So I mean, in fact, this particular ant design has mobile app also. If you go and look at ant design mobile, you search, they have a very special uh, frameworks in order for the mobile app also. Just go ahead and install ant mobile. Okay, npm install and ant mobile. So I'm not going to install globally. I'm just running the same command. Okay, so in order to begin with, you can use this framework also. So if you go here, you can go ahead and look at the component. They see these are all the elements they mentioned. Here you see, look at the layout. Um, I mean everything to kickstart the mobile. You have everything ready here. Okay, so you see these are all the icon. In my case, I'm going to use the maybe with the tabs and navbar, something like that. Maybe footer. I mean, this framework you can go and explore how to use. This is really superb tool today, and you can use for many reasons you can use this. Okay, so I just go ahead and start with the layout that I mentioned. Uh, this one particularly. So let's click this and go to the JavaScript. I'm not using TypeScript right now. Let's copy this part. I mean, you can copy the entirety. It's absolutely fine. Copy and maybe because in this app also it's app.js. I mean, replace everything, save it, and go back and see your app, and your app might be having the new UI. I mean, okay, so this has some error. Go and see they have some kind of icons, right? Um, so we need to install and to design icons. All right. So let's go and search like and design icons, and we need to install that package also. Copy this and go ahead and install in your command prompt. Make sure you are in your command prompt. Make sure you have the same folder. I mean, you must be inside of the folder that you have created recently. Okay, so once you install, I think this app might be running without any issue. I installed, still it is showing an error. Okay, something wrong with this. So even their example has, missing some declaration here. That anyway we can report them. All right, now you see the basic app has been created, right? This looks okay. Now we can think about it. I mean, if you are building a mobile app, in your app according to your product, what kind of the menus or side menus or breadcrumbs you wanted to install. So let's go ahead and in my case, I'm going to remove this content. I'm going to use the movie related data. You need to think what your mobile app is going to do, whether your company product is going to do something about it, or you are building some kind of a social networking app. I mean, all those logic you need to think how to build it. But in my, I mean, in this video, I'm going to show you some kind of trending movies or a latest movies. So that's going to be app. So user can get installed and they can see what are all the trending movies, something like that. So that's my product idea, but you can think whatever the way you wanted to build. Okay, this video is a lot about how to build the progressive web apps for computer or mobile devices. So in this point, I'm going and connecting the Rapid API. I think I talk about a lot in my videos. Rapid API, you can go ahead and connect the Rapid API, and there are thousands of APIs are available in the Rapid API in order to use. If you haven't logged in, I mean sign up, you go ahead and sign up into the Rapid API, and especially for freshers or beginner, you wanted to learn a lot about API stuff. This gives plenty of ready-made solution you can quickly go and plug in. So I'm going to search something about movies related API. I mean, you can build apps to show some motivational quotes in your app, or daily jokes, or a daddy jokes, or something like that. You can find APIs for all your use case here. So there is something here, and let me go and see whether what are all the possibilities are here. It says that the movies, movie title IDs, there are plenty here in terms of movies. And I really wanted to see something like, trending movies, something like that. So let's go ahead and find here. Okay, content site distributed. Movie by title. No, not this one. And I do keep search. This one. I think I saw some kind of API which talk about the trending movies, something like that. Here you see IDMB top 100 movies. Yeah, I think this one looks okay for me in this use case. Okay, here you have a top 100 movie list. Okay, when you log in into Rapid API first time, after you log in, maybe this particular icon will show as a subscribe instead of subscribed. You can just go ahead and click subscribe, because if you go and subscribe, they will give some options of pricing. But again, in order to kickstart, most of them are free. Say here 500 hit per month is free. So I mean, in order to kickstart any development, you don't need to spend any money. You can go ahead and use it. When you reach the limit, I mean, when you have a large user base, and then you can find a way to make a revenue and you can build it. So here, let's go and take this one, and this is the API, right? So they give the API key and everything, and the benefit is they are giving the different code how you can integrate with the various programming languages, right? In our use case, this is going to be a JavaScript. So let's go ahead and use AxIOS, because that's the one I usually use in my ReactJS applications. Okay. Um, so before we get into that, we can also see some examples of the result, right? How it will look like. Say when you hit the API, it will give 100 movies. So each movie will have a rank, title, thumbnail, and the image, description, trailer, or something like that. Genre, director. There are plenty of details out there, right? So let's go and copy the code snippet. I mean, if you are developing the similar object, I mean, similar model in a different programming language, whatever you see in this list, Java, Python, or whatever, you can copy the relevant code. So in our use case, it is going to be JavaScript. Let's copy the AxIOS. So before, I mean, let's go ahead and paste in our code, right? So this is the progressive app which we created, and here in the before rendering the data, let's go ahead and copy paste. Okay, sorry, it did not copy, and here go AxIOS, copy the code, paste it. All right. So here it says that the access iOS import, isn't it? Let's go ahead and do this. I mean, as we do, it will definitely throw error, right? Here, because it doesn't know what access iOS, right? So let's go ahead and install. And in order to install AxIOS, npm AxIOS, do search, and they will give a line how to install. It's just one line of command that will take care of the installation. Just copy this and go to your program. Make sure you are under the folder of where your particular progressive web app. Okay, just paste it and do this. Okay, and then so now we installed the AxIOS, but still don't worry about exposing this API key. I will remove this key after this video, but in your case you will get the different API keys like this. Okay, so we have the constant variable. The constant variable has some header in order to pull, and there is a try catch. I'm not okay with the try catch. I'll deal the exceptions myself. Okay, so as usual, before we run the script, React, right? We need to have a the state variable. The state variables are so important thing in the React, right? So here let's say movies, and set movies is my state variable, and it is holding an array, because you see in this Rapid API we saw that when I hit this code, my response is going to be an array of 100 items, right? Array will contain 100 JSON elements. Okay, so we declared. Now after this particular API call, we are going to set this variable into that particular data. All right, so we need not have await here in this case. I mean, let's do this. Let's write a method. We need to write the use effect in the React.js, right? In order to manage the on ready something, ptjs use effect, and you'll have a pretty best example. Just copy this and go and paste in your app. All right, and this is the example. Let's copy and paste. I mean, in your code, you can just paste immediately after the class file declaration. Okay. So in this case, I don't think I use this. Let's remove this. We use the use effect. The use effect. Let's remove this one. Okay. Please make sure whenever you place the use effect, put an empty array here. I mean, this is not a React course, so I'm not going to talk much about it, but please make sure you put this square bracket, otherwise your React will keep on rendering, re-rendering the page, and it will also, pull the particular API continuously, then it will go completely wrong, right? So just paste here, so it will pull only once. Okay, use effect, it call the data, or if you are functional, I mean, if you like functions, you can also write a function const, let's say fetch movies array, and right. So here you can call this one. So and put this maybe somewhere in your page. Here there is a use effect. I mean, by default app creation comes with a state variable, but we wanted to use effect also, we just copy pasted, right? And okay, so after the use effect, let's call this particular method. Let's see, here we can use the await, right? Await, and because it is await, we need to use the um, I mean, we don't need, I mean, we can leave it, that's fine. So it is going to fetch the movie. The movie will fetch with this options, and once it fetch the movie, we are going to set this value into the set movies variable. All right. So let's go ahead and copy. All right. Okay. In order to see whether this is working, we can just go ahead and see in your console whether it is actually fetching the data. Okay, here there is a color beige. I think we removed it somewhere, right? Okay, for now this is not required, and we don't need the background color, we can declare that later. Let's go ahead and see whether the data is fetching now. Let's do refresh once. Okay, now you see the data is coming right through the rapid API. So these are all the data. Now we are going to render this JSON into this particular spot. All right, so what we can do, go to the and design, and let's look at some kind of card. I mean, that's my idea of how to render this data. So every data has some kind of you know um, view requirement. So in my the movies database, I have an image, I have a title, I have a little description, and a few things. Okay, so we are going to use something like this card, and see, I mean, this girl pretty, and see, we have a similar one with description. Okay, I think this one. So ice beer, it looks very nice. Okay, let's go ahead and copy this one and go and click the copy code. So we need this icons, isn't it? We already copied a few icons, so we need this one also. Copy, I mean, sorry, paste this, and then we need this avatar and code also in the ant code, and let's paste this, and we need this method.code in your const function, and we need this code. All right, okay, just copy this code and go in your main content part and paste it here. So as we paste, because you know that these are all the not a relevant data for us, isn't it? So what we can do here, we are going to render, I mean, after this particular method, the movies variable has the array has a list of JSONs. Every JSON represents a movie. Okay, so how do we do? Let's write a um, React function in order to render that. So movies dot map dot each. I'm sorry, this kind of pop-ups. Um, so let's do this. Assume. Uh, Come on. Okay. After this one, I am going to put this card, and at end of the card, so I'm going to wrap with the particular function. Let's do little formatting. So if you are using Visual Code Studio, you might have some easy function. Just right click, do format document. It will do nice formatting for you. So I just this is the way you can iterate. I mean, you all know that the loop, right? Loop, for loop, some kind of loop. So this is the easiest way by the lambda function you can loop the data. If you just go and refresh and see how it renders, okay, there are some error. So it says that a map of undefined. Okay, why undefined? So you all know that this rapid API especially recommend us to use the um, right await function, right? So it's better to go and use the same await function. Let's go and put the await here, and because it is await, we need to use async, right? Okay, let's save this. I mean, this is a requirement according to the movies API. So let's use the await function. Now save it and go and look at our code. So it now render, but it render all the bare images, all right? So let's go and change this data. Okay. So according to our data, we know the JSON properties, isn't it? Here, what we can do in this SRC image, let's go on to find out how the data sample is given here. Let's say they have a thumbnail, they have a title, right? And they have image. So in the each variable, we have image. Let's go on to remove this. Let's type image. All right. And in the alt, we can give the title for the accessibility. And I mean, we'll come back about this. And the title, we can use the title. And for the description, we have the movie description. Okay. And then the avatar, let's see what avatar is here. So this is some kind of icon, right? So for a courtesy, we can give the IMDb icon. Okay, IMDb, because that's where the data comes from. Just for an example, you can use any icon, whatever you wish. And in my case, I'm going to show this is IMDb icon. Let's go and take this, right click and copy image address and put this avatar. If you don't need this avatar, you can definitely remove this. And how do we give all this? So we are not going to give any ID edit or something. We can, I mean, if someone wants to know more about this, we'll see some kind of link icon. Okay. Or if you think that you don't need any action, you can remove. I mean, it's an all idea. So you may give a link to the IMDb site so that the user can go to the IMDb site to know more about the movies. For now, let's go and refresh. Okay, so the IMDb logo is here. This is a okay. Why the title is something like this? Okay, so title is not an image. Sorry about that. Okay, description. Now I rendered. So this looks good, and but the problem is everything is appearing like separate. I mean, line after line instead of running one after other or something like that. That could be because they mentioned here as the card supposed to be some kind of display item. Okay, now it's too big. Okay, here we can use the space element from the and design. Okay, so that the space can stack things one after other. So let's go and find the space, copy this and put that into our ant design. And they say how to use this, right? The space and the size is something like this: size small, middle, large. Okay, here go and use the space, I mean space and what, large, space, and remove this, paste after the loop that we have created. This time it may, yeah, stack one after the other, right? This looks okay, but unfortunately, it gives only one line, not a multiple line. Maybe this pass will not work, but anyway, in your case, you can find out how you wish to, render this in a next kind of line item. Okay, so anyway, this is our mobile app, right? It will be something like this. So being one line is more than enough. Let's go on to find this. Your mobile app may look like this, right? If you think you need not have this, I mean, you don't want this menus, you can definitely remove this. All right. Let's say I think I need not have this slider menus. Let's remove it. You wanted to put some title here. Those are all your app ideas. Okay, whatever the app you are building and you wanted to give some title or whatever, you can go ahead and type. Okay, so this is the app, right? It just lists the movies. Okay, this looks nice. Maybe if you wanted to give some space and visual space, you can definitely give them, right? How do we do? So here in the style of, sorry, in this card and the style object, you can give like margin top. Yeah, I wanted to give a 20, maybe 30 pixel, right? Okay, so you have some visual space, right? Or you wanted to give some ornaments in between of every card, you can give them. Okay, now assume that the mobile app is ready. This is what I'm going to publish. Okay, so you all know that publishing the mobile app, you need to have some static hosting. You can use the Google's Firebase or Amazon S3 for a static hosting, or Oracle Object Storage, or Azure Storage, something like that. There are plenty of options which almost free for you in order to host any static sites. So in my case, I mean, if you really wanted to know more about the static hosting, please refer my other videos how to host your React JS application or HTML application into those free environment for you to host. But in this case, I'm going to use the ngrok um, to convert this localhost address into a public address, so that I can connect this directly into my mobile device. Okay, so if you don't know about ngrok, please visit my channel, and I have explained how to run the ngrok. Okay, let's go ahead and find how to host this ngrok. All right. um, so they mentioned here, let's say ngrok um, um, host, or just see how to run this one line command. Okay, ngrok http et, right? In our case, what do we do? Just go open the command prompt. If you haven't installed already the ngrok, you can just go ahead and install ngrok. Please note that the ngrok nothing to do with the mobile app. You can, I mean, now your mobile app is ready. Here you can go ahead and npm run build. Okay, when you run this command, React will create a output folder called build. You see here, just created. This is a purely static asset like HTML asset. You can just copy this build folder and you can deploy this into any of the static hosting sites I mentioned. But here I'm going to directly stream this static website to my mobile using ngrok. So as I mentioned, ngrok nothing to do with the mobile app. Okay, now I'm going to push this localhost 300, that is my React app, to a public address. Okay, let's go ahead and hit. Now I get the free app. Just go and hit this. That's okay. Let's visit. Okay, now the same the same localhost is now available as a public address also, right? So now let's go and visit this into my mobile app, and then we can install this as a mobile app. But please note down, so far whatever we done is really the React.js app. but we need to add a couple of additional lines in order to make this React.js app into a um, progressive web app. Just go ahead and open the index.js. All right. So in this, let's add the service worker. That is a one line that will make your React app as a progressive web app. So go ahead and type import. Let's do everything as service worker or registration. Okay. Oh, service worker registration from um, let's do dot star, the same thing. Okay, just do import. So this time you go and see, it may throw error because your code doesn't have a service worker registration. JS file and do search. I think it will be available in the GitHub. Okay, so just go ahead and copy this file. um, so before that we need to create such a file, right? Just do create a plain JS file. Okay, and come here, copy this entire code and paste here and do save, and then we know what to save, right? So this is exact name we need to save, dot .js. So the new file is now created. The error might have gone now. Okay, the error is gone, and now you need to you know, just be imported, but we need to add just one more line here. Let's put that dot re register. Okay, so that's it. The service worker will completely take care of making your app into the register. Okay, I think the error here is was not found in the service worker registration. Why? Because let's go ahead and find let's say function register. Okay, here there is the register method, but I'm not sure why it is throwing error. Let's go ahead and find the service worker registration is the file that we installed now. Export register imported as registration was not found in the registration. Possible export default and register. Yeah, default export default. Um, why this? Okay, let's remove this. Okay, we removed. All right. I think this file has some issue. We no need to have. So when we have a default export, I believe that this line is not required, but that's okay. I mean, this is the way I used to, and it is working. Okay, now this is fine, and let's click this. Okay, so now our app is completely ready. So please note that just these two lines, like a service worker registration and this register method, will make your React.js application as a mobile app, that is called a progressive web app. So that will get installed in the mobile devices automatically when the user visit the page. Then it will create an icon on the page, and user can have the icon in the mobile, and they can click and open. See, please note that there are other artifacts. For example, if you go to the SRC, there is something called a logo, um, some kind of imagery where it will be here. If you wanted to, um, change this kind of icons to your brand icon or your company logo or your product logo or something, you can just put the logo instead of logo.svg. You can put logo.png or whatever the file you wanted to import. You can definitely put them, and because that is very important, when user install, the icon also will get installed into the computer. Okay, now it's all done, right? Say this one is ready, and your mobile app is now streaming as a public website, and this is what we are going to, I mean, if you have any any domain under GoDaddy or whatever the hosting site, you can just go and put this as a record and under your domain. So your product will have a unique URL. Okay, let's go ahead and open this in the mobile app. In order to open the mobile app, I mean, I'm going to show my mobile into the screen. For that, I'm going to use the AirDroid. Okay, that's one of the app. I mean, if you are iOS users, you might have some kind of screen sharing kind of app, so you can use it. Sorry, it's not the AirDroid. I'm going to use the from my computer. Let's use AIR Droid cast. Okay, all right. Now, how do we sync? So I'm going to I'm opening my phone now. I'm just scanning this one, and I'm connecting not in the same local network. Okay. Um, so please note that both your computer and the phone must be in the same network. And okay, I know this. Um, let's go ahead and connect. I mean, let's connect this. I'm trying to connect from my phone, but it's not allowing me. The not connect the local network. Okay, let's give it a try one more time. Okay, so my data is connected with a different one. Now I connected under the same network. Um, yeah, okay, now it is allowing me. It is casting my phone here on the screen. Okay, I'm just getting, okay, now you see my phone, right? What we can do at first time, you just go ahead and open your Chrome and visit this particular the URL that we broadcast. So I feel lazy to type such a big URL. Okay, and let's go on the QR code generator. Okay, and put this. This is going really bit of long step. Okay, we no need this really. Um, I find something pretty quick and easy. Okay, paste this. Now we got the QR code that I'm going to scan in my computer. Um, you see my computer, right? I'm going to open the QR code. I mean, these are all additional steps I'm showing, but when you really publish your mobile app, these are all not required. Okay, I'm scanning. Okay, I mean, I'm trying to just avoid typing such a long URL. Okay, so now this URL is um, here. When I just click, it will go. I mean, this step is just um, instead of typing this URL, I wanted to copy paste. That's the reason I use a barcode. Okay, so now we open this in the mobile app. Okay, we can visiting this. All right. Okay, now what is the next step? If you go here, you can see, right? So whenever you visit, I mean, when user visit this particular website, it will quickly prompt them. I mean, just at the bottom of my screen, I couldn't see now. I mean, I couldn't present here. At the bottom, there is a pop-up asking whether I can install this um, mobile app on my phone. But there is another option also. If you click here, you see one button right here, add home screen. If you click that, it will ask. I mean, these are all the manifest you can define. So we have in our code something called package.json, right? In this package.json, you can define your app name and logo and everything. Here we have just um, the PWA movies, And here in the title, in the HTML file, let's go and see. There'll be one HTML file, isn't it? If you open the index.html, there is a title, say, right, the React app. So here you can type whatever your app name. When you type, it will give the user something like this, okay, on the screen. So I mean, of course, user can type whatever that is something progressive web app gives them. Let's say top 100 movies is my app name. I mean, user can have the icon name anything. This icon also you can upload into your code here, the logo.svg or png, right? This logos you can change to your brand or your whatever the logo that you designed, that will appear into the screen. Okay, so say add, then yeah, at home screen, that's it. Once you're done, you can go and find out, you see this particular icon is added. So please note that this icon can be customized the way you want. It will always work, whatever the icon you wanted to. So once user added this, and user any point in time can come back and just click this icon like any other mobile app, so it will open the particular app. Okay, so this is the progressive web app capability. You can write whatever your ideas, and you can host it completely free. And with the help of progressive web app, you no need to go and to the app store or Android iOS store or Android store and put the upload it and fill the paperwork. You can avoid all those things. Okay, so progressive app is completely up to you. And of course, if you go and modify any of your code and you redeploy, the users will automatically get updated to your latest version of mobile app. So that's the benefit of progressive web app. So I guarantee you that 90 more than 95% of mobile app what you see today can go with the progressive web app. But if you see some kind of a gaming which requires high intensive CPU and all those things may require a native app. But in all other cases, the Twitter is already moved to the PWA app, and Instagram moved to PWA, Facebook moved to PWA. So all the bigger apps that already gone to the PWA. So hope you enjoy this video, and I hope this gives some learning experience to you. And I thought of, yeah, all right. So if you have any question, please look at my description where I have given my calendar. You can book my calendar. Feel free. It's nothing charge. So no charge. You can directly connect me, and if you wanted to learn something, you have some queries, I would be happy to help you. Thanks for watching. Bye.